Hey guys, did you miss me? Well, I missed you all too. But sometimes there are just things you have got to do. Family calls, duty calls, the house calls, laundry calls, and as always, arthritis calls. Now, I said that the last video that we would talk about food. Well, there are lots of other things to talk about too. There's Amazon, there's the fact that I went to what is a foot doctor called?
Podiatrist.
But I had a problem with my foot that I got taken care of. And also, I put a new tent in my cart at Amazon. So that ought to give you an idea of how things are going with me. So let's do one thing at a time. Let's talk about food. I'll be right back with you. Okay, when I first found out I had arthritis, I started doing a lot of Googling. And I found that certain foods are better for arthritis and some foods are detrimental. So I started eating healthy, which was pretty easy to do since I was at home for 3 weeks and in too much pain to do a lot of moving around. What I found out was once I started being in less pain and started moving around more, and a classic example is I finally took the dog for a decent walk, and every morning I would have yogurt. By the time we got back, I was starving. And at that point, I realized that some of the foods that have been really good for me and seem to be making a difference are not going to stick to my ribs the moment I start doing any type of activity. So I had to make some compromises. Now I still have my ginger and juice water mixture every morning. And on Sundays, I add a little, what do you call that stuff? It's like a white wine, and I just call it a mimosa because I'm grown, okay? But I have that every morning. Still have my yogurts. Eat more fresh fruit than I have ever eaten in my lifetime. Like, I always thought I didn't like apples. No, I don't like biting into an apple, but I love an apple that's been peeled, sliced, and refrigerated. So between watermelons and apples and I think it's cantaloupe, I am just fruiting my little butt off, and I probably have 3 servings of fruit every day. So that's all still on point, and that's good. But the days that I go to work, it's not enough. Now I had pretty much cut out red meat other than bake my steak, which I like, but I love a grilled steak or a pan-fried steak with cheese on it. I have not used my deep fryer once since the first time I bought it because I realized that's not really good for me. And I actually was doing really well, very well. So I, did a lot of fish. I don't really like chicken unless it's fried. But I would do a Cornish game hen and stuff it and then put stuffing on the side and then I could choke it down. Let's see what else. I did limit myself to maybe one small sweet on the nights that I'm home because I really don't have time to eat dessert the nights that I work. But what really happened was Christmas. Christmas did me in, and I cooked for the family, and I did traditional food. I did the yeast rolls that you let rise for a couple of hours and bake, and I made 2 pans of those. By the time Christmas was over and everybody took home plates, there was still a whole sweet potato pie, a quarter of a coconut cake, and a quarter of a chocolate cake left. Not to mention 10 rolls. I ate all of that, okay? And the mashed potatoes, the candy yams, all the stuffing that I could squeeze out of those little hens. By day 4 after Christmas, my legs hurt so bad. I mean, when I went to bed, I couldn't even sleep. My legs ached so bad. Thank God I had some what you call it, BC powders in the house, which pretty much work in 10 minutes. That is the only way I got to sleep. But the next day I was on my way back to Walmart because I realized, one, I don't like taking those. They work amazingly, but they are so not good for your stomach. Bad enough I was taking a bunch of Advil. Um and to find something that I could rub on my knees that would work right away, because the knee stuff that I use, it does work, but and it's been in my system long enough now that when I use it, within an hour or so it'll kick in. But that's an hour or so. I ain't got time for that, not when you're hurting. So believe it or not, I found some Bengay. Who knew Bengay was like that? I know it's old school, but who knew you could rub Bengay on your poor little arthritic knees and in 10 or 15 minutes they feel better? So that's in my arsenal now. So basically, what I eat now is, like I told you, the fruits and the vegetables. I still do those. But I have given myself 2 days. 2 days where I can eat what I want. And the rest of the days I eat what I should. Sunday mornings, I eat a real breakfast. Whether it be turkey sausage and eggs, or whether it be waffles and a little bit of bacon, whether it be an omelet. But Sunday morning breakfast is my time. Also Wednesdays. Now Wednesdays, I decided I'll eat what I want, but I don't really have a lot of time because Wednesdays I'm running errands. Like right now I'm doing laundry. And then I signed up for 5 hours of overtime later on. So I'm not really going to be able to eat exactly what I want. But what I have found, that if you have to eat red meat, then make it sirloin steak or something like that. So I did buy a piece of sirloin steak, and I'm going to pan fry it with with a slice of cheese on top. And I haven't decided what my starch and vegetable are going to be, but I plan on getting home in enough time to do that for myself. Other than that, no red meat. And also, I cut out sugar altogether. Now, someone has said, oh, you need to cut out sugar. And I'm like, oh, you need to not tell me what to do. Well, baby girl, you were right. All those sweets I ate in a couple of days after Christmas because they were still at the house, man, it hurt me. And Sheila learned her lesson. So Sheila does not eat sweets now. Other than the sugar that's in my fruit, there are no sweets in my house. If I need to have a snack and I'm craving something sweet, then it's fruit. Otherwise, I'll stick to my little mini bag of Doritos, or maybe 10 little mini pretzels, something like that, where the sodium count is not that high. And it's just a drop in the bucket to what you're allowed for the day. But I have found that quiche is my new favorite food. That's what I eat when I come home from work, because I'm in a quandary of what do I eat. I don't feel like cooking. And then, I've already had fruit 2 or 3 times a day, and I've already had yogurt. I don't want that either. What I really want is some eggs and something like that. And like I said, I don't want to cook. So Martin sells quiche. They sell spinach quiche and quiche Lorraine. I usually buy one of each, and I just kind of flip-flop, and I have myself a nice slice of quiche before I go to bed, and that seems to satisfy me, and it's not too unhealthy. The only thing I'm doing really different than what I did before is I will eat some processed food. There are nights when I haven't had a chance to cook, or there's nothing left over from the night before. I still have to go to work, because realize this, I get home at 5:30. No, I'm sorry. I get home at 5:45, and I like to be in bed by 6:30. If I leave work at 5, then I can't go to bed at 6:30, because the drive home with all that commuter traffic in my face, has got me on edge. So I'm not relaxed enough to go to bed. So it's 8 o'clock when I go to bed, and I need to get at least 5 or 6 hours sleep. So it's 1 o'clock when I wake up, and then 4 o'clock when I have to start getting ready for work. So that basically leaves me 3 hours. And 3 hours, there are other things to do besides just cook dinner. I still have a dog. I still have a house to take care of. There's a couple of YouTube videos I want to watch. You don't have a lot of time. And sometimes I don't want to spend the time cooking. So I find that some of the stouffer meals are about as low in sodium as you can get. I believe the daily sodium thing is 230 milligrams. Most of the stouffer meals are like 1,300. That's about almost a little more than half of what your daily allowance is. Well, considering I haven't eaten anything but fruit or yogurt or spinach meal, I got a little sodium I can play with. So I decided, yeah, it's okay if once in a while I have to eat one of those. But the main thing is I have to make sure I eat something that will not only be good for me, but also give me energy, like carbs, because I work hard. So I have walked away from white bread. I only eat whole grain breads, either wheat or rye, because every once in a while I like to take a hot pastrami on rye for lunch, and sometimes corned beef Reuben, and again, because I don't have a lot of sodium in my diet, yes, those things have some sodium, but it's not going to knock me off the charts. So I find that I am eating more foods that stick to me to give me the energy I need for work, but also staying true to the healthy eating thing. Now, when I first started Amazon, I loved the fact that I could go, make a little money, and leave when I wanted to. Well, that stopped being true. That stopped being true when you started running out of time, and then we had the pandemic, and then they took all that away. So you can just you didn't even have to come to work. But if you're going to be gone more than 2 or 3 days, all you had to do is let them know you are coming back. Otherwise, they assumed you quit. That was great. That allowed me so much space because Amazon always says, treat it like it's your business, but there's really nothing there to make it feel like your business. Once they became flexible with your time, to me, it felt like, okay, I can come and go when I please. That is, to me, is true freedom. It's also what I had in my own business. So now that part's gone. Now you can only come and go depending on the amount of time you have. And so the way I decided to do it is because they give you a couple of hours of personal time, they give you a couple of hours of vacation time, and they give you 20 hours of unpaid time every 3 months. What I decided to do is never let my vacation time go below 3 days. And since they give me a couple of hours every week or so, whatever those hours are, I leave early 1 hour every day. That makes me feel like I have the freedom to come and go. To come, pack some boxes, make some money, and go home when I'm ready. That has done a lot for my morale, okay? On the odd occasion, if I don't have enough loose change in my vacation hours, I'll use a personal day. Or rather, a personal hour, because that too gets replenished a couple of hours every week. But the biggest thing for me is when I leave at 5 o'clock, I run into all this commuter traffic coming towards me. Now, where the hell are those people going? At 5:15 in the morning. But it's a steady stream of lights in my face, and it's just not very relaxing. But when I leave at 4 o'clock, I maybe run into 3 cars. It is the most relaxing drive home. And when I get home, I'm ready to go to sleep at 5:30 because I'm not hyped up from the drive. So yeah, I always say, make sure you can figure out what Amazon can do for you, because they're going to get what they need from you. So you make sure you get what you need from them. I need to leave an hour early every day so I can have a relaxing drive home and get to sleep so I can get all the rest I need. So, that's pretty much it. Oh, also I started supplements. Now, I did the ginger and juice and water. And I was doing turmeric, but I didn't like the way it made my food. It made my food weird and kind of tacky. I don't like that. So then I kind of just put that to the side. But now I just take it in pill form every day. I'm also taking vitamin D. I'm also taking fish oil. And there was one more thing that I can't remember what it is. But I've started taking all of those supplements every day. And I actually feel a hell of a lot better. I have actually, can honestly say, I've been able to control the knee issue rather than have it control me, because I would do laundry and I would have to use 5 washing machines, because just the idea of lugging laundry down the steps upset me so bad I kept pushing it off. Okay, I feel better now, and plus let's just do 2 loads at a time. Same way with groceries. Let's just do small shops, because walking up the steps is not a problem. Walking down the steps is still a problem. See, it was something else I wanted to tell you about arthritis. The cortisone shot. Okay, my honest opinion is, and lots of people say it didn't work. Well, it did work, but only for a short time. Now, you're not in as bad a shape as you were before you got the shot, because before I got the shot, for 4 days up to the day I got the shot, I had to use a walker at home. So I'm not that bad, but I'm nowhere near as good as I thought I was going to be. I mean, that's the reason why I have to take Advil, and I have to use the Bengay, and I have to use the little hot pads. And, heat feels good on your knees. When you sit in a hot tub of water, all the pain goes away. They bend all nice. Same way with a heating pad. But I don't like heating pads because they don't conform. So what I do is I have a heated throw. I just wrap the throw around my knees. Dog snuggles up against me because he likes it too. And that feels great. But of course, the moment you walk away from it, whatever you got comes back. If I would have had to pay for the cortisone shot out of my own money, I would have been pissed. And I'm not going to be a candidate for a knee replacement until I've gotten at least 2 more of these bogus shots. And so I'll do what I have to do. I just consider myself very blessed that I did figure out some things that would make life more comfortable for me. And so at this point, I feel I'm as good as I'm going to get. I do still have a slight limp, but I'm not in any pain. I'm not even sure why I limp sometimes. I told my sister, I think it just got to be habit. I said, because if I think about it, it'll stop. I said, but my natural inclination is to limp now. So, that's all I can tell you. It's healthy eating does help. Eat healthy, do the supplements. Someone had mentioned exercise. I get enough exercise at work, and the reason why I have arthritis is the doctor said overuse of my muscles, or rather overuse of my knees. So let's not add more exercise on top of what I already do to the poor things. But I just wanted you all to know that everything is fine. The baby is just still adorable. I'm helping out with that a little bit. And I just wanted some time. There was so much that I either couldn't do or only half-assed did because my knees hurt. It was nice to get the house back in order. I hate to come home and see laundry in the living room because I just didn't have it in me to take it to the bedroom, or groceries still in the living room because I just didn't have it in me to put them away after I got home. It's nice to be able to have stuff in me again so Sheila can be Sheila. So, like I said, I had some work done to my feet. I'll tell you about that the next time. Also, some things happened to Amazon. I'm going to tell you about that in the next video too. Because while I may not have been on, I have been thinking about things for us to talk about. I just needed to get Sheila straight first. So, I will see you all in the next one. And I'll probably drop another one for the next couple of weeks, 1 a week, just so I can catch up. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.